Hey, it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We got a great viewer question in, and that is to explore and discuss kind of the fear mentality, the scarcity mentality, sort of that impoverished outlook that oftentimes can be created around a covert narcissist. And they had stated that, this individual has kind of a persona of being immaterialistic. In other words, not being, a real kind of go-getter or not very materialistic, that they're immaterialistic. And I want to address that. And before we get started, I just want to give a huge shout out to those of you who have recently donated to the channel. Thank you so much to your contribution and input and insights. And thank you so much for all. Much love goes out to all of the viewers here. We've all come together for a common purpose, and I appreciate your viewership, your tuning in, your feedback, your insights, your experiences, and sharing. Thank you so much. And I also want to give a quick shout out to those of you. This is for the ladies, the gals. I had a viewer recently ask me about what foundation I use, and absolutely, I'd be happy to answer your questions at any time like that. I do often get questions like about what brand of glasses I have, or things like that, or like my jewelry or things like that, the turquoise, the Navajo pieces that I adore and appreciate. I do wear it is a Maybelline Pore Minimizer Fit Me foundation, and I do a L'Oreal powder, like a pressed powder. So I love the coverage on it, yes. And I also do some other like highlighters and things like that. So for the foundation, I love that, the Pore Minimizer Fit Me. It's a real cute little square bottle. You can pick it up anywhere. So I hope that helps. And let's get started here on really what is the guys are like, what's going on? Okay. So and maybe you guys wear it too. Let's just see. So I wanted to address sort of what is that fear mentality? What is the lack mentality? Controlling through fear. We will never have enough. We're never going to make it. We can't afford this place. We can't afford this. We can't afford this. We can't do this. We can't. The feeling like as if, they can't communicate. So as they withdraw communication, they're withdrawing that sort of energy of openness, discussion, what I call creative brainstorming. I have a lot of experience in creative brainstorming, new product development, intellectual property, things of that nature where I have engaged in for large corporate companies to then release new products that are here in the U.S. and then international global markets. And so when you are in a fear-based, we can't do it mentality, you are living by what is called or known as limiting beliefs, self-limiting beliefs, or worse than that, when someone else is putting limiting beliefs on you. You can't do this. You are not good enough. You are not tall enough, pretty enough. Your hair is too curly. Your hair is too straight. Your skin is too light. Your skin is too dark. Your shoulders are this way. You'll never make it. Your feet. Whatever the point of contention is, it's all a fabrication. It's all illusion. It is all a matrix-placed limitation on your thought process, because that does impact your cognitions and the belief. Your belief is fueled by the feel-good neurochemical called serotonin. And if you are being depleted of serotonin through constant criticism, through harsh judgment, through constant judgment and comparison, and that is really kind of what society does impact you with, especially in the beginning years, is that, fit in, that social engineering model, where you need to fit in, you need to adapt or die. This is instinctual. This is, hardwired into human neurology, psychology, physiology. You need to fit in. You need to, just like in the, let's just say the caveman days. You couldn't, attack one of those big tigers by yourself. maybe you could, but generally that's not how it was done. So you'd have to team up, lotta. There was the groupthink mentality. And now, through kind of the information age, you do need to get along, but the quantum field, that sort of creative synthesis of information, is more supported. There is more of a place for entrepreneurs, independent thinkers, people who can problem solve, idea people, creatives, people who can think on their feet, be on their feet. Merge and mesh and forge out new connections, new relations, new security. That sort of synthesis of right and left brain thinking. And so, oftentimes you then, you diverge, and then converge. You have to separate, individuate to then communicate in that, that productive way, or, community contributory way. And so, as looking at that scarcity consciousness, poverty consciousness, it is all about me. You can't do it. It is all about fear. There is no peace to think from. There is no security. There is the constant threat and fear of this, and this. So if you're constantly living in fear, you're constantly going to be living in scarcity mentality. There isn't enough. There's not enough safety. There's not enough happiness. There's not enough people. There's not enough space. There's not enough. There's not enough food. There's not enough transportation. There's not enough evidence. I mean, it's a constant, lack mentality, and that keeps people back. And that is the illusion. And oftentimes that is what is reinforced or reperpetuated by a narcissist, because they would furthermore have you believe those limiting beliefs, again, which the beliefs are the foundation of it all. And if you are living in that sort of poverty, your brain is not going to release the serotonin, the feel-good chemical, which is kind of it's kind of like the kerosene for the match. I mean, you need to have a little bit of kerosene, to put the fire to, or a little bit of, tinder. You need to have a little bit of wood, something to ignite, and so, really your potential is what we're referring to. Your potential is like the wood, or the, that which is being ignited, your passion, your I am, your life purpose, however you want to look at it, different modalities and experiences. And so, the fear mentality, the lack mentality, oftentimes is not only set up, but it is reinforced by a manipulative individual, such as a narcissist or a psychopath, someone who has a pathological sense of self-importance, giving themselves constantly the upper hand, the upper rung, the upper voice, the upper thought process, the better car, the better hair, the better whatever. But it's not, it's not good enough for them, to just be. Is that they have to kind of downgrade others, either verbally or by insinuating, you are under my foot. You are going to be trodden on. You need to see through my lens, my perspective. You need to, do that, the hail to me, and then, you are like my subjects, so it is very much put in place, and then your role oftentimes is reinforced, and then people then, basically over time, that I am begins to, they basically begin to live their purpose according to this other person's evaluation or negative evaluation of you. And then, you begin to carry it out, and that you never get to live in that quantum field. You never get to experience the kind of I am, that liberation, that, where you become more energetic and a little bit stronger emotionally, stronger psychologically, stronger in your energy field, which is, the depressed, inferior, low self-esteem emotions. Those are the lower energies. So, they're not as strong. So when you feel depressed, when you feel weak, when you feel, beat up, you're not going to be as resilient. You're not going to be, climbing Mount Fuji. You're not going to be able to look at the vista. You're not going to be able to look at the view and go, oh my God, that's so amazing. you're not going to draw amazing experiences to you because you're going to be operating by the subconscious belief that it's all over for you. I can't do this. I can't have this. This will never happen. It's taken too long. You're giving up, and then you have this, resignation to life, and then your belief becomes limited. You've got the lid on too low on the saucepan. You're working on 1/4 cup of fluid when you could be working on 2 or 3 cups of fluid. If you look at the emotions in that way. And so realize that those are, based and correlated to fear, lack mentality, and you have a choice now, which I addressed to you and proposition to you here today, that you can opt in for the lack mentality, or you can opt out. You can agree to the lack mentality, or you can disagree. You can go and continue to foster that inner climate or inner culture of your life, your inner personality, persona, the mood over time, which then, reinforced becomes your identity. You can either then continue to live on the lack mentality. I call it the divot mentality, where all of a sudden, you're taking a step and you're just kind of like down, you're in the valley, and valley moments do happen where we're down, yes. But, optimism and quantum energy and quantum, that quantum field is looking up at the blue. You can be down in the valley, but if you're looking up at the blue, it might be, how tall is the mountain? But you're looking up, you're absorbing that hope. You're absorbing that quantum field. You're absorbing that higher, that higher energy. You're absorbing that place, which is unlimited, which is infinite, which is the quantum field, which is infinite possibilities and creativity, and where all can coexist and, exist on that area, and you're not, taking away from another to be yourself. Your growth isn't impinging on another. And furthermore, another's growth is not impinging on you. So it's very much a coexistence or a co-collaboration or co-creation that you have with that quantum field, the God energy, the God space, the divine, that which is infinite. Divine, that which can create, which is a little bit more intelligent than the everyday Joe. There is a higher intelligence at work. It's like acknowledging it in that and then go, oh yes, and that is, I'm part of that. I am part of infinite intelligence. I am here. By virtue of my here-ness, I am. And I am part of higher intelligence. And, that is what is. And so I'm going to allow myself to have a relationship and connect with that and allow that in. And that is what's going to expand me, expand my life, expand my connection with others, expand, my verbalization, my mind, my feelings, my emotions, my health, my physical wellness, my choices, etc. It's going to all have a ripple effect. And it's going to create a new internal culture from, like an internal petri dish for me to grow from, to proliferate from, to, reinforce more of the same. It's going to strengthen the neural pathways, which are on the side of positive, orderly direction thinking, abundance mentality. The yes, I can, yes, I am, yes, I will, and embrace and just living that. And it's not, being attached to that negative. It's not being attached either way. It's an allowing process and, a learning process, which means you're allowing the ability of your mind, your body, and your spirit to participate in neuroplasticity, which is the ability of the mind to create new neural pathways. So it's kind of like paving a road. If you've ever seen an open field or an open desert with like no field or no roads, like a big vast farmland, there might be one little dirt road. That's kind of like what your neurons, neural your neural cells are called neurons. So like the cells of your skin are called the epidermis. You have cells in the mind which are called neurons, and then they connect through axons, which are like little roots, and then they connect through little holes where it's called like synapses, and then they jump and send electrical messages. It looks very much like a lightning bolt. So when you create new, when you have old neural pathways, it's like a very worn rut that you might see like a very well-worn path, like a highway. It's a lot of cars are going on it. You know, there's a lot of people. It's a highway. So you have a lot of electrical energy. Those are like the old neural pathways. You know, you're not good enough. You've got all this energy and you have all these cars running along that old thing. And then, you know, that old pathway, which is akin to what is happening neurologically. And so then it's kind of like saying, well, you know what? I'm going to participate in positive, orderly direction thinking, what I'm calling basically pod thinking, positive, orderly direction thinking. I'm giving kind of a name to this. So when you're saying, you know what, I'm not on the highway. I'm going to take an exit right here. I'm going to go a little bit over here. I'm going to go to the backwoods, and there's not a lot of cars here. In fact, you know what? It's kind of only me. And I'm going to kind of take a look and whoa, this is scary. Can someone rescue me out here? You know, my footing is getting a little stable. Is there some mud? Is there some clarity? Is the lane going to give away? You know, you have all these thoughts, and then it's kind of like being, you know, a sailor, or like navigating your emotions, navigating your perspective. You're way out there, and then you're creating new neural pathways, and then eventually you feel and ignite your courage, which is the emotion of being able to feel the fear but take focused action anyway. So any person who is training themselves, you know, or like a super, like, what do you call it? Like a soldier, or, you know, someone who, you know, has to make quick decisions under pressed situations. You know, they need to be able to make decisions, and they're using their prefrontal cortex, which is, they're really strengthening that area of the mind to make decisions quickly, even in the face of fear. In other words, if this happens then, if this happens then, if this happens then. So they're really, really creating new neural pathways, which are problem solving, and they're able to keep that going strong. So your new prosperity consciousness, your new experience of I am, is like going off the highway. It's like taking that exit. I'm going no contact, baby. I'm out of here. This is not for me. You know, this is killing me. This is ridiculous. This is outrageous. This person is bullying me, intimidating me, criticizing me, hitting me, slapping me, whatever, you know, giving it, and then you then make the decision. You go off, you begin making new decisions, new choices. You enact courage. You enact bravery. You begin to see some awesome, amazing views. You strengthen that experiences. Once you have your I am, I did it, then you possess it, you own it, and then you continue to build up and accumulate those experiences. And that's where you build up your solar plexus. You make those new neural pathways. You begin to use the neuroplasticity, which is part of the human brain, and begin to change, evolve. And then as you do that, then you weaken that old highway. That old highway that tries to pop up, nope, not taking that route. Been there, done that. I hate the traffic. I don't like, getting stuck there. I don't like that route. I don't like, what do you call it, where you're just in traffic and you're not going anywhere. It's just called like a traffic jam. You know, you're just stuck in traffic. That's not for me. I'm making a choice. You then use your neuroplasticity, and then you begin to get that sort of safety and security, which can only be experienced through the experience of making choice and going in that positive, orderly direction of thinking and accumulating more experience along that path. It is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. I hope that these videos do help. Please share, please donate, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.